Look, man, if you want to be proud of who the hell you are, you got to own every part of it. Every lie, every insecurity, every bit of weakness that's been dragging your ass down. If you die today, could you honestly say you're proud of the man you become? Most people can't. Most people are too scared to face the truth. They'd rather live in some fake ass version of reality than admit, you know what, man? I'm fucked up. But here's the thing, man. You got to go to that dark place first. You've got to sit with that pain, that guilt, that fear, get real accountable and ask yourself, who the fuck am I really? What's the truth about me? And don't sugarcoat it. Don't hide from the ugly shit. That's where you find out what you're made of. You want to know who you are. You got to dig. That shit takes time, months, years, but you can't quit. You got to block out all the noise. The world's getting louder, faster, and more distracting by the day, and every second you let it pull you in, you lose another piece of yourself. Shut it all down. Cut out the excuses, the bullshit, the people who want you to stay the same. Go dark, be alone, man. Be uncomfortable as fuck. It's okay to be unhappy sometimes. It's okay to admit you're broken. That's where real change happens, when you're raw and exposed, facing that demon head on. You got to get in there, look that motherfucker in the eye and say, what's up? I'm here. Let's fucking do this. Yeah, it'll take everything you've got. You're going to feel like quitting, but you've got to push through. Once you figure out who you really are and what your purpose is, you'll see what you're capable of. And guess what? You might not be the next LeBron James, but you sure as hell can outwork and outlast anyone when it comes to sheer willpower. That's where you win, man. Most people want that easy way out. They want someone to say, hey, it's okay, bro, take it easy. Let's order pizza, chill, and watch the game. Fuck that. I don't need people to baby me. I'm hard on myself, and if I'm hard on me, I sure as hell don't give a fuck about your feelings. Every day starts with the hardest thing I can think of. That's why I run every damn morning, because I hate it. And that's exactly why I do it. I'm all about building armor for the battles ahead. You want to be proud of who you are? Stop looking for shortcuts and start facing your shit. That's the only way you'll ever change. The second you step out your door, the second you unlock your phone, all that bullshit you're letting in is poison, man. Straight up cancer for your mind. Yeah, there's some shit you can't avoid, but that's why every damn morning I put on my armor, I protect my mind and my body like my life depends on it, because it does. Discipline, hell yeah, it's crucial, but if your head's all fucked up, discipline doesn't mean a damn thing. Man, you've got a circuit breaker and you're just piling load after load on it. Sooner or later, that shit's gonna blow. Circuit's fried, man. You can't shove everything into one space and expect it to handle the weight. Same with your brain. You clutter that fucker up, and it doesn't matter how much discipline or motivation you think you have, there's no space for it. Your mind's jammed up in all that discipline you talk about. It might show up now and then, but without space in that garage you call mind, it'll never stick. Most people don't get it. They don't understand that your mind has to be fucking clear. That's why I meditate every damn night. I'm not sitting there to feel all zen and shit. I'm cleaning the damn garage, clearing space, getting my shit in order. So when I wake up, I'm ready to go to war. Discipline is locked in. Everything's where it needs to be. But we live in this soft ass world where everyone's addicted to comfort. People want the easy road, and they wonder why they're stuck, why they run the second life throws some heat at them. You want to know why? Because your mind is set up to take the easy path. No discipline, no consistency. You might hit it once, twice, but then your mind takes over and all that clutter comes crashing in. That's when the circuit breaker trips, man. Your brain's so overloaded with bullshit and you're trying to jam more into it. It's sparking, ready to blow. You can't keep packing it in. You got to clear out that mental garage, man. You want discipline? You want that consistency? You got to make space. I'm talking about going deep into that dark space, into the shit that's holding you back from really breaking through. Here's the thing about people with talent, they're a fucking pain to train. They rely on that natural ability, and it's hard as hell to push them beyond that. Coaches know this. They see it all the time in fighters or athletes who are stuck in their comfort zone, riding on talent alone. But if you can drag a motherfucker past that talent, past their own limits, into the deep end where they've never been before, that's where the real levels are. It's not about how good you are, man. It's about how deep you can go. When you're mentally tough, you're in the deep end swimming while everyone else is just dipping their toes in. That's when it's over. Game fucking over. They live in the deep end, man. They fucking thrive in it. While most people tap out, these motherfuckers stay in. When you quit, your mind does something that shuts down. It says, we're done. And that's it. No growth, no expansion. You're stuck. But when you're drowning, when you're suffering, when every part of you is screaming, I can't do this, and you say, fuck that, I'm not going anywhere, your mind has no choice but to adapt. It has to expand. It's forced to grow because you're not giving it an out. That's when you tap into parts of your brain you never even knew existed. You're pushing your brain to operate on a whole new level. And guess what? After a while, that shit becomes your normal. When talent runs dry, most people fucking quit. They hit that wall and don't know what to do. Why do they keep messing up at the same damn spot? It's because they're only relying on their talent. And after that, their mind's got nothing left for them. But me? I told myself, who on this earth would still be going right now? The answer, you are man. You got to be the hardest motherfucker alive. Is it true? Who gives a fuck? It doesn't matter if it's true or not, because in that moment, it's what got me to the finish line. And you know what? I believe it today just like I did then. Man, I turn off the noise. I put the phone away. I go dark, and I go dark a lot. Why? Because I'm on a mission. This life, it's a journey, man. We're all on different paths, but I want to be able to look back when I'm in that pine box and say, fuck yeah, I did it all. I want my spirit to live on, and you can't tell me something that powerful just dies when your body dies. No way. This life is temporary, and I'm going to make damn sure I squeeze every ounce out of it. Here's the thing, man. Life's going to throw some heavy shit your way. Trauma, devastation, it's not if, it's when. And when that happens, you can't let it stop you like some fucking roadblock. You got to break that shit down fast, find a way through, and keep moving forward. That takes serious mental toughness. I had the ultimate blueprint growing up, man. Being the youngest kid, it's a fucking gift. Sure, I got picked on, got bullied, but I learned. I watched everything. I studied my family, and I knew exactly what not to do. My dad, hell no. My mom, my brother, I saw it all. I watched, I learned, and that was my roadmap for how to live and how not to live. I saw people screw up, and I said, not me. I know where you've been because I've been there in the trenches, in the fucking dungeon. That's why I can reach people who are down there, because I've been below you, not above man. I didn't just survive it. I learned from it. And that's why I help so many people. I know what it's like to crawl out of the fucking dark. I call it part-time savage. Yeah, I started slipping into that. Getting a few injuries here and there, little aches and pains that back in the day wouldn't have slowed me down for a fucking second. I was getting soft, man. Then I pulled my head out of my ass and realized I've still got more in me. I'm not done. We can still push harder. We haven't hit the ceiling yet. I was talking to this guy, Cameron Haynes, about a 240-mile race, and I started thinking, is this the next level? Is this what I need to do to keep leveling up? I'd already mastered those 100-mile races. For me, the next challenge was that 200-plus mile grind. And you probably read about it in the book, but that first time, it was brutal. I got my ass kicked, but I came back and did better. What's so crazy about the human mind is that the shit you thought was impossible becomes your new fucking normal. Running 240 miles? That became like running 50. I never thought that was even in the realm of possibility. That's why I keep pushing those limits, because every time I do, there's always more. I ended up doing back-to-back 200-mile runs. The first time it felt like hell, like it was going to break me. But after figuring it out, it became something I could do. That's the power of the mind, man. Once you conquer it, what used to seem impossible becomes easy. You hit mile 70 in one of these races and your body is screaming for you to quit. You feel like death. The thought of going 30 more miles in that shape feels fucking impossible. But when you push through that wall, when you do it, it changes you. After I finished my first 100-miler and that shower hit me, man, the reality that I had just gone 101 miles when 31 of those miles were pure hell was indescribable. They were all freaking out saying, we got to get you to the hospital. My mom's doctor was like, he needs medical attention now. And you know what I said? Shut the fuck up and let me enjoy this pain. I didn't want anything to numb it, no meds, no bandages, nothing. Because that pain, that was confirmation, man. I just scaled a mental wall that was fucking unreal. And I didn't want anyone to take that away from me. That pain was proof of what's possible. I never want to feel it again, but I'm damn glad I did, because it set the bar for me. Now I know what's on the other side of that wall. And once you've been there, you don't ever go back to living small. That's when it hit me. I've been underachieving my whole damn life. And let me tell you, I'm not saying you need to go to that dark place. That place is fucking dangerous. It'll break most people. But you know what? It showed me what's possible. That 19-hour lesson, one of the biggest lessons of my life. It taught me exactly what I needed to know, check. See, man, as you get bigger, as you get more successful, you open the door to a ton of criticism. People love to throw shade when you're on top, but here's the reality. Most of those people talking S aren't anywhere near where you are. Most haters are stuck at a low level of life, and it's pathetic. You know what they say, you'll never meet a hater doing better than you. That's the fucking truth. But instead of letting that get to me, I started having fun with it. I actually go through the comments. While most people ignore the hate, I look for it. I hunt that S down. I block and delete the clowns because I don't need that negativity on my page. But before I do, I take a screenshot and I save it. Why? Because there are days when I don't feel like doing anything. Days when I think about skipping that workout or cutting corners. And then I pull out that archive. I made a fucking mixtape of all the hate people talking S, telling me I'm a fraud, that I'll never make it. And guess what? It became fuel. Pure fucking rocket fuel. I know why they hate me. They hate me because they're laying in bed being lazy, and seeing me out here grinding makes them question every damn thing about themselves. So what do? I double down. I get out there and succeed even harder just to fuck with them. I play that S while I'm running, sometimes around the house, and it drives Jennifer crazy. She's like, why do you listen to this garbage on repeat? And I just laugh. It's half comedy, half inspiration. People think my knees are fucked from running so much, and they're dead wrong. I wasn't born with perfect alignment or a great body. Hell, I wasn't even born healthy. I've got sickle cell, all sorts of issues. But I made a choice. I could either sit my ass down and do nothing, or I could push the human body to its absolute limit and see what it's truly capable of. As I dove deeper into my mind, as I kept pushing, my mind got stronger. The pain in my knees, yeah, it sucked, but I've been running through that pain for so long it became my new normal. Oh, your knees hurt. Stop feeling sorry for yourself, Goggins. That's what I tell myself. Sometimes you have to say, fuck your feelings. That doesn't mean you ignore everything, but you can't always listen to how you feel. Some mornings I wake up and my body is wrecked, but I made a decision a long time ago to be the best version of myself. So when my knees scream in pain and my brain wants to quit, I say, fuck your feelings, let's go. Sure, there are options, knee replacements, doctors, whatever. But I'm not here to take the easy way out. I'm here to see how far I can push this thing. Every day I make the choice to keep going. And that's the difference. You got to make that same choice every damn day. People always want to say, oh, Goggins, you ran too much. That's why your body's messed up. I hear it all the time. You don't want to be like David Goggins. Let me clear something up. It's not because of the running. The truth is, I live in the darkness. I study the darkness. You don't find answers in the light, man. That shit is too easy, too soft. Happiness, that shit comes naturally. No one needs to be taught how to handle happy moments. But the dark times, that's where the real answers are. People ask, how do you go to those places in your mind and come back stronger? How are you able to write like you do? It's simple. I embrace the pain. I don't just experience it. I fucking study it. When I was growing up, watching my mom get beat, getting beat myself, being that stuttering little black kid in an all-white school, I didn't just live through that shit. I dissected it. I remember standing on stage, supposed to say one fucking line in front of 15 people, and I froze. Couldn't stop stuttering. Walked off that stage, head hanging low, full of shame. All those insecurities, all that pain. I used to cry at home feeling like I was nothing. But then I got older and I realized if I'm ever going to get past this shit, I need to study it. So when life gets dark, when shit hits the fan, I grab a pen and paper and dive into it. This sucks, I'm losing my shit, but let's figure this out. That's the only way to get through it. People don't understand. They want discipline, structure, consistency, the grind. But they don't know how to clear their mental fucking garage. You can't fit discipline in a mind that's full of clutter, full of excuses, full of weakness. That's the problem. At some point, I realized this is life. Shit is going to go sideways. I move on quick. People freak out. Oh my God, David, what are you going to do if you can't run? Guess what? I'll swim, I'll go to college, I'll find another challenge. This running isn't my life, it's just part of it. I know how fast life can take from you, and I'm always ready for the next chapter. See, I wasn't always like this. I used to be a little bitch, always thinking I'm not good enough, I can't do this. But one day, I pulled my head out of my ass and realized if I get off my fucking ass and start moving, I can achieve some serious shit when I started front loading. Front loading means I don't wait for life to kick me in the teeth. I bring the fight to life. You've got to motivate yourself, push yourself, and be your own fucking hero. That's what separates the best from the rest. Every time I'm in a shit situation, I study it. That's the only reason I do half the shit I do. I'm not out here just doing shit for the sake of it. I'm fucking studying it, man. I never thought I'd be writing books or trying to help people level up. I was just trying to fix my own shit because I knew I sucked. When you know you're trying to get somewhere and deep down you believe you're a born loser, you start taking mental snapshots. Just like when you see something on your phone and think, I'm saving this for later. I do that shit with my mind. When I'm in the thick of it, I'm like, okay, damn, that's some hard-earned knowledge right there. I snapshot it. Why? Because I know I'll need it later. I'm not out there like most people running and saying, oh, look at the beautiful mountains. Oh, fuck that. I don't enjoy that shit. My body's fucking hurting. I'm in pain. But instead of running away from it, I'm in the lab. My mind is my fucking lab. Your brain is the most powerful weapon you've got. Forget the phones, the computers, all the tech. When real life hits you, depression, loss, death, you can't Google your way through that shit. You're alone, trapped in your mind. And even if you've got a best friend, guess what? You're alone in that brain for 24 hours a day. In those moments, even the hardest motherfuckers are looking for answers. But you've got to be that one motherfucker who steps up when everyone else crumbles. Be that guy who, when everything sucks, when you don't want to be there, says, fuck it, let's do this. We're going all in. Even right now, talking to you, I'm in the car for an hour getting my mind right. I'm a shy, introverted, leave me the fuck alone type of dude. I'm still that 6-year-old kid who couldn't say a damn line in front of 5 people without stuttering and walked off the stage in shame. That's still me. People see me on podcasts and they're like, man, you look so intense, so locked in, but you don't get it. I'm trying to stay in the zone so I don't fucking bolt out the door. That's the real me. The guy who still fights the urge to run, but chooses to stay and do the damn thing anyway. I did 101 miles in 18 hours and 56 minutes. Let me tell you, man, that was the worst fucking pain of my life. I never thought it was even possible to do what I just did. I hit 70 miles and at 70, I was done. I was dead. I thought I was at 100%, man, completely tapped out. But somehow I pushed 31 more miles, 31 more fucking miles in the worst shape I've ever been. It was the most amazing moment of my entire life. I've had 2 heart surgeries too. I had a hole in my heart. You're not supposed to have a hole in your heart and still be a SEAL. The hole was so big, they said it was the size of a quarter. A fucking quarter. And they were amazed I could do all this shit with that in my chest. But you know what? That's what I've been doing my whole life, proving motherfuckers wrong. Man, let me ask you, what's your biggest fear in life? I don't care if you believe in God or not. Now, you're standing in front of God and there's a long line of people getting judged. Now it's your turn. You get to heaven at 75 years old, you're 300 pounds, spent your life working some job spraying for cockroaches. That's what you did. Now you're standing there and God's reading off your list. And you're seeing 182-pound Navy SEAL, motivational speaker, changing lives, pull-up record holder, and you're like, that's not me. And God looks at you and says, that's who you could have been. Most of us are living like that. You surround yourself with mediocrity, and guess what? You become the best of the mediocre. You start thinking you're great because everyone around you is comfortable and they make you feel good. But the second you step up and put yourself around uncommon people, you can't handle it. You don't want that pressure. You don't want that person waking up at 3 a.m. saying, get your ass up, we're going for a run. You don't want that shit. You want someone saying, hey, it's okay, man, take the day off. Let's order some pizza, watch the game. But that's not how you become a bad motherfucker. No, you need that guy who says, get your fucking ass up, stop being soft. You need to challenge your weaknesses every single day. That's the only way you grow. But people are addicted to comfort, addicted to staying safe in their little bubble of mediocrity. If you want to be great, if you want to be a bad motherfucker, people won't understand you. They'll think you're obsessed, crazy, driven beyond what's normal. That's what it takes. You've got to sacrifice every second of your life to reach that edge. People talk about balance. Sure, that's fine for most folks. But if you want to be at the top, if you want to go to war with yourself and come out victorious, balance goes out the fucking window. You'll be misunderstood, hated, questioned, and that's when you know you've arrived. Out of 100 men going into battle, 80 are just targets. 9 do most of the fighting, but one is a warrior. Be that motherfucking warrior. Get your ass back to work. It's time to shut the hell up and grind. Stop listening to your own bullshit. Get off social media, cut out the noise, man, and get back in that mental lab where all that real knowledge comes from. Those haters out there, I've studied them like a damn science project. But it ain't just about them. I've gained knowledge from my own darkness, from all those times I was down, getting bullied, feeling like shit. I used to get caught up wanting to clap back to explain myself to every troll out there. But now, I see that hate for what it is because I've been that negative ass person before. Yeah, I was that guy seeing someone successful and thinking they must be cheating or they got it easy. I was so damn far from where I wanted to be, I couldn't even see the path. Didn't want to work for it. Just wanted to tear others down. But that's a reflection of your own weak ass self. It's like looking in a mirror and seeing your old sorry version staring back at you. This shit ain't about just lifting weights either. People want to talk shit like, oh, you're only 90 pounds on the incline? Motherfucker. Try doing 5 sets of 25 with supersets of push-ups, curls, pull-ups, triceps, and whatever else. It ain't about how heavy. It's about pushing yourself till your muscles are screaming till you're swollen and it feels like you're about to explode. That's a workout. That's where growth happens. People ask me, when do you rest, Goggins? When do you recover? Guess what? I don't. No days off. 0. 7 days a week, nonstop, even a light day, light 6 miles, easy 4 days a week. I'm hitting calisthenics in the gym. I don't touch a damn weight without knocking out pull-ups and push-ups. Nickels and dimes, baby 5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, or quarters minus 25 pull-ups, 50 push-ups, mixing it up every time. And every night I stretch because I'm prepping my body for the next damn battle, man. And that's what kills me about other people. It's not that they can't do it. It's that they won't. I know where I can go and I know damn well you can go there too. But you got to be willing to face that dark place, to grind through the bullshit and keep pushing when it hurts like hell. That's where the real work starts. Get back to it. Stay hard. Here's the thing, man. I've learned how to tap into a place deep inside me, a hyper-focus zone where I can pull off some insane shit. Not because I'm some kind of superhuman, but because I've unlocked my mind to the endless possibilities of what I can achieve. That takes growth, mental, spiritual, all of it. It's about leveling up every aspect of your life. When you start getting after it, pushing yourself beyond what you thought was possible, that's when you truly start to feel alive. That's when you start to feel good about who the hell you are. Most people don't get it. Nothing on this planet makes you feel as good as grinding every damn day, doing something that challenges you both mentally and physically. You can't live in that soft, normal mindset. You've got to be at your best on your worst days. And how do you do that? By rejecting that bullshit normal mindset. Here's the truth, man. If you're always taking the easy way out, your mind will stay weak. I used to be a chameleon, just blending in, scraping by, living like everyone else, accepting that average mentality. But that shit doesn't cut it. You've got to think like a 1%er, someone who wants it so bad they'll do whatever it takes day in and day out. This isn't a part-time gig. People fucking don't understand that. Look at Kobe Bryant. The dude dropped 60 points in his last game and walked off the court without a tear. He wasn't crying, wasn't clinging to the game because he knew he gave everything he had. That's what it's all about, leaving no doubt. I've done the same. I've given everything. People say, oh, you ran on busted knees, taped your feet up, had 2 heart surgeries and kept going. Yeah, that's right. That's what makes me who I am. We all want toughness, but you can't find it in a comfort zone. You've got to suffer for it. People tell me you can take a break now. Fuck that. As long as my knees halfway work, I'm running. You say I might not be able to run anymore? Well, until that day comes, I'm going to keep pounding pavement. No excuses, man. I gave everything I had. People don't understand me, never did, and I don't give a damn. I knew exactly what I was doing. I'm not a masochist. I'm not crazy, but everyone wants to slap a label on me. They want to fit me into their little box. Nah, I had shit to do. The mind is like a garage, man. If it's cluttered up with junk, you can't fit anything in there. But if you organize that space, put everything in its place, you can fit cars, bikes, whatever the hell you need. That's the mind. It's discipline, determination, consistency every damn day. People talk about that stuff, but they don't live it. David Goggins was an introverted, scared kid who got his ass kicked growing up, who had to lie just to make friends. My life has been a story of two people. I had to create a whole new persona, someone who wasn't afraid to get out of his comfort zone. That person became Goggins. That's who the fuck I am. It took me a long ass time to get to the point where I said, enough is enough. I hit rock bottom lower than dirt and I wasn't going anywhere. I was exactly what everyone said I'd be. A fucking nobody. So I had to make a change. Goggins? That's the motherfucker who walks out of the phone booth like Superman ready to rip through life. But it's weird because sometimes I have these conversations between David Goggins, and Goggins is out there doing some crazy ass shit. And David Goggins is like, what the hell, man? Why are you doing that? You've lost your damn mind. It's this constant battle between who I am and who I'm fighting to be, knowing that the real me is scared, comfortable, and wants to stay in that soft world where everyone's patting you on the back and telling you what you want to hear instead of what you need to hear. When people hear this, they'll want to slap a label on me to make themselves feel better. Like I'm some freak of nature who unlocks some secret shit in his brain. But all they're doing is giving themselves a get out of jail free card. It's bullshit. They want to believe I'm just wired differently, so they don't have to face the fact that they're not putting in the work. Every day I wake up, I dread it. I dread what I'm about to put myself through just to get better. I remember feeling like I was finally getting over the hump. Then a tiny windstorm would come along and knock me right back on my ass. And I'm thinking, why the fuck can't I get it right? I was in high school reading at a damn 4th grade level because I cheated on everything. I had to teach myself how to read, how to write, how to do all the basic shit I should have known already. I taught myself discipline. But when that first real challenge came, I crumbled. A little gust of wind. And I was right back to square one. That's when I realized I was just fixing shit on the surface. I was all surface, nothing real, nothing deep. I wasn't digging into the basement of my mind, fixing the cracks in the foundation of my soul. And my soul was shattered, man. I knew I could fix it, but I was scared as hell to go back. I didn't want to face my demons, didn't want to admit who I really was. So I just kept lying to myself. You start believing your own lies, creating a version of yourself that's all bullshit. That's not who you are. And that's when I realized I'm never going to get over that hurdle until I dig deep, deep, deep into the darkest, nastiest sewer of my mind and face every single demon in there. That's the hard work. That's the shit most people run from. We all love social media. We love showing off the fake ass version of ourselves we want everyone to see. But that's not going to fix anything. The most important conversation you'll ever have is the one you have with yourself. That's the voice you wake up with, walk around with, and eventually that's the voice you act on. So you better make damn sure it's telling you the truth. Stay hard. Man, my self-talk was the nastiest, most toxic shit you can imagine. My mind was like a damn sewer. You got to dive into that filth and start fixing things, but most people are scared to do that. 20 years ago, you wouldn't catch me dead on this show. I was too embarrassed, scared to admit I stuttered, that I lied, that I got my ass beat and bullied. But that's where real transformation happens. When you can stand in front of anyone, 1,000 people, one person, it doesn't matter, and say, this is who the fuck I am, and here's where I need to fix myself. That's when the change starts. People call me dumb. My dad had a whole list of names he'd throw at me. Getting beat down, stripped of all self-esteem, it was brutal. That's when I realized something. On this earth, I'm alone. Yeah, I've got God, but down here it's just me. And I'm the one who's got to fix my shit. That's when I started building my indestructible mental toolbox. I remember seeing this guy in Navy SEAL training, ready to quit, ringing that bell, and I saw myself in his eyes. I saw all the shit people said I'd be nothing. I saw the excuses I was making for myself. That conversation in your head, that's who I was. That's why I lied, spinning stories to create some fake ass version of myself. But I knew I had to turn those lies into reality. I had to become a real fucking person. So I made up my mind I was going to go to the toughest military training on the planet, Navy SEAL training, where they put you in the water, the one thing I was terrified of. Most people run from their fears, boxing themselves into some tiny ass life. This is all I can do. They say, too scared to step out of that box, but not me. I jumped the hell out of it. Everything I didn't want to do, everything I was scared, that's what got me to where I am today. It's about what you say to yourself, but it's also about putting in the work. Every time I got beat down physically, mentally, spiritually, whatever I told myself, you can't hurt me. I had this voice in the back of my head haunting me for years, and most of us ignore that voice. But I knew deep down, if I ever chose to listen, I could pull off whatever the fuck I wanted. I just didn't want to face the work. I wasn't gifted with brains or some God-given athletic talent. I knew that if I wanted to be on the same playing field as the best, to even have a shot at this program, the work was going to be brutal. And I was scared of that, so I kept putting it off. That fear of the grind haunted me. I wanted the comfort zone, like everyone else, people telling you what you're doing right, not what you need to fix. I realized that was the shit holding me back, so I became my own worst enemy. I became the toughest son of a bitch you'd ever meet. The kind of guy you don't want to cross paths with at night. I became my harshest critic. And that's what flipped the script. I stopped giving a damn about what people thought of me, stopped fearing judgment. If I stuttered, who cares? If people laughed, fuck him, I let all that shit go. And that's when my life really started to change. Slowly but surely, I turned into the person I was meant to be. Stay hard. When you reach that point where you're truly happy with who the fuck you are, nobody can touch you anymore. They can try to fuck with you all they want, but it won't mean shit. You got to ask yourself, what do you really want in life? We're bombarded with so much bullshit and noise that we lose sight of what matters. We get so damn lost because we don't spend enough time alone figuring our shit out. Greatness is whatever the hell you dream up in your own mind. But here's the thing, man, you've got to see it first. You've got to build that vision in your mind. Once you've got that vision, it's about mapping the path to get there. But that starts by going deep inside yourself. That means shutting the fuck up, locking yourself in a room, cutting out all the distractions and diving into your soul. Search your mind, dig into your abilities, you'll find it, but only if you're really looking. If you're not on the hunt, you'll never see it. You got to start your journey. And that journey begins with figuring out why the fuck you're here on this earth. Why am I here? If you don't know the answer to that, you'll spend your whole damn life wandering, asking that same question over and over. Why? Every morning I'm suiting up, putting on my armor. So when I step out into the world and look at my phone, I'm ready to take the hits. I'm not waking up late, not scrambling like a headless chicken, and sure as hell not disorganized. I know damn well life's gonna punch me in the mouth. There's an art to getting punched, and it's called preparation. You gotta wake up and build your own belief, your own confidence. It starts with that run. I'm talking about 90 minutes to 2 hours every single day. First thing, straight out the gate fasted, running for hours. Then I fuel up, hit the gym, and tackle whatever the day throws at me. That's the formula every damn day. There's no room for excuses, no waste of time. People say they don't have time. Bullshit. We all have 24 hours. I just use mine better. That's why I've got what I've got, and that's my growth factor. I see these so-called motivational speakers out here, and it's laughable. They tell you to wake up, pound your chest, scream in the mirror, and all that raw bullshit. If that works for you, good luck. But for me, it's simple. Every day I look back on what I've actually done. I see the real work I put in, the real scars on my mind, the calluses on my hands. That's all the motivation I need. You don't need to scream in the mirror when you've lived through the grind. It's the hard work and the pain that build you, not some chest-pounding morning routine. Stay hard. Man, the biggest problem is limited horizons. It's like this. I use myself as the prime example every time. I grew up in a small-ass town in Indiana, surrounded by a handful of black families, a place where you're expected to think small. 8,000 people, one local plant. Great Dane. Everyone's dream was to get a job there, buy a house next to their mama, and call it a life. That's all they knew. A lot of us are trapped in these tiny-ass compartments in our heads, only seeing what's right in front of us, never thinking beyond the little box we're born into. The one thing I did different, I learned how to fucking dream. But I didn't just dream. I didn't let dreams be my master. A lot of people have dreams, but they don't own those dreams. I dreamed outside of those small town walls, and I put in the work to make it happen. That's the key until you step into that dream and start grinding. It's just smoke. You've got to own that shit to become what you're destined to be. You've got people out here dreaming big, wanting to be sports stars, Navy SEALs, astronauts, but they're just sitting on their ass, letting those dreams own them. That's where they fuck up. When you become the master of your dream, you stop talking and start doing. You say, I want to be a Navy SEAL, and then you bust your ass to lose 106 pounds in less than 3 months. That's when the real work starts. That's when the dream fades and the grind begins. List of tasks, details, all the steps you've got to take. That's where you flip the script and take control. Most people hit the snooze button when that alarm goes off at 4 in the morning. They keep waiting on someone else to push them, looking left, looking right, looking for help. But let me tell you something, man. The real magic happens when you look in the mirror and realize it's all on you. It's not selfish. It's about building a stronger, better version of yourself. If you can hear this and take it the right way, you'll see it's not about running 200 miles or lifting 1,000 pounds. It's about seeing how far you can go, pushing your limits every damn day. Man, my biggest trophy isn't some medal or certificate. It's that book one wrote. Not because of the book itself, but because of what it represents, every ounce of suffering, every bit of hell I dragged myself through. I don't give a fuck if it sells 1 copy or 1,000,000. The point is, I did it. I want people to understand that their life, their struggles, that's the real prize. The bigger the struggle, the deeper the peace on the other side. The more you suffer, the more you grow. Look, a lot of the shit you're dealing with, it might not even be your fault. But guess what? No one's coming to save your ass, man. You've got to have the guts to go back to where it all started, wherever that place is for you, and start fixing what's broken. That's why I said, fuck it, I'm going back. I'm fixing this. You've got to know how to self-motivate, because most motherfuckers don't. They rely on hype. They need the headphones, the music to get them pumped. But what happens when the music stops? When the headphones come off? It's just you and that messed up mind of yours. That's when you got to step up and be your own hero. That's the real hard part. And most people aren't ready for that kind of fight. But that's what separates the weak from the savages. Stay hard. Man, this is raw and real. You ever blast some music when you're out there running? Nah, I don't need that. I need you to remember this. When you whoop my ass and I grin right in your face, yeah, I wanted that. I wanted you to feel like absolute dog shit when you headed home to your warm little bed. Because while you were getting cozy, I was still out there in the cold, getting my ass handed to me for another 100 hours. I wanted to burn a hole in your mind, make you realize I'm out here thriving in the misery you couldn't even dream of touching. You've got your damn excuses. Life did this, life did that. Poor me. I stutter. I can't read. I'm fat. I'm insecure. Fuck all that noise. We don't live like that. We don't live in fear. We don't live under someone else's judgment. Screw what they say. You think I'm losing sleep over the opinions of some soft-ass people who wouldn't last a second in my world? Hell no. Everything counts, man. You're reading, you're learning, your workouts, your diet. You start slacking on one, it's like dominoes, they all go down. You think you can half-ass your diet, your sleep, your training, and get away with it? That shit will haunt you. You'll wake up one day and realize you've been slipping, drifting off course. I keep a vice grip on my discipline, man. When I see myself slipping, it's a hard stop. No excuses. And it drives me crazy seeing people die with their potential still locked inside because they're too busy thinking someone else has it better or they got dealt a bad hand. Newsflash. No one gives a damn about your sob story. What matters is if you've got the grit to grind yourself into dust and build yourself back up over and over again. That's how you get tough. I used to fix the surface level shit, couldn't read. I learned. But every time life threw me something real, I crumbled because I didn't dig deep. I didn't venture into the darkest corners of my soul and ask, why are you quitting? Why are you weak? Why are you scared? That's why I kept resetting, failing. Because I was only patching the leaks on the outside while the inside was rotting. I don't talk theory. I live this, man. I put myself through the fire again and again, like a damn sword being forged. You want a strong sword? You better be ready to beat the living hell out of it. That's what I did. Kept throwing myself back into the flames, kept hammering away until my brain started to harden, until my mind became that unbreakable steel. And I'm telling you, if you want that, you got to be willing to get your ass back in the fire every damn time life tries to bend you. Get in there, take the heat, and come out harder every time. That's how you get to the other side. That's how you get strong. Man, what made me who I am today is raw vulnerability, man. It's tearing yourself down to the bone, hitting rock bottom, and then owning every fucked up piece of yourself. I'm talking about looking someone dead in the eye and saying, here's who the hell I am. I've got character issues. I've lied. I've cheated. I've been weak. This isn't the real me I've been fronting, trying to win your damn approval. You got to strip it all down, expose every flaw. That's how you fix it. But here's the thing. People judge you in a split second. They don't know where you came from, what broke you, what life did to shape you into the mess you are. And yeah, maybe it's not your fault that life dealt you some shitty cards. But guess what? It's your job to go back and clean that shit up. No one's coming to save your ass. You have to dig deep, find the source of your pain, and face it. And no, it's not fun, it's dark, it's uncomfortable, but that's the damn work. That's what changes you. It's not about wanting to live in that place. It's about knowing you can go there. You got to have the balls to visit those dark corners of your mind and not run from them. Because when you've clawed your way out of the mud, when you know exactly where you started, it makes you see the world differently. You realize most people are stuck, too scared to go there, too scared to grind through the shit that's holding them back. I know what it's like to go to that place, to be hyper-focused, to unlock levels of myself I didn't even know existed. It's not because I'm some kind of superhuman. It's because I cracked open my mind and got real with myself. I stopped making excuses and started putting in the work. I learned to embrace the struggle because that's what grows you mentally, spiritually, physically. When you start tackling hard shit, you start feeling good about who the hell you are. Look, there's nothing on this planet that boosts your confidence like going after something that scares the shit out of you. You can't live like everyone else, thinking like everyone else. You got to be your best when everything around you is going to hell. You got to ditch that normal mindset as poison. My biggest takeaway from life, if you're always choosing the easy road, you'll never even meet the real you. I know what it's like to be a chameleon, just trying to blend in and survive, but that's not living. That's not what the 1%ers do, the ones who want it like their life depends on it. Here's the harsh truth, man. You're alone in this fight. Sure, you might talk to a shrink. You might have a friend who listens, but at the end of the day, it's just you and your mind for 24 damn hours. And that mind, it's crafty. It'll try to pull you down every dark alley, every pit of despair. If you can't get a grip on it, if you let it steer the ship, you're fucked. Plain and simple. You got to be the one in control, dragging that mind kicking and screaming to where it needs to go. That's how you win. That's how you break free. Here's the thing, man. You got to grab your mind by the throat and tell it where the fuck you're going, how you're getting there, and that there's no damn exit plan. If you don't, you're toast. But here's the truth most people don't want to hear. That alarm clock goes off at 4 a.m. And what do? I don't feel like being a SEAL today, or I'll start tomorrow. And that's the story of most people's lives. Always finding a way to duck the grind, always running from the hard shit. That's why I keep hammering on this. You got to clear out your mind. If you don't really want it, if you're not willing to go all in, you're just talking. You're just another runner hiding from the pain. Growing up, I struggled with learning, but when it came to people, man, I was a damn genius. I had to be. I lived in hell. I was always watching, always studying. Who's real? Who's fake? Who's got good energy? Who's trying to fuck me over? I got so good at reading people because it was the only way to survive, to move forward. And sometimes the problem isn't what it seems. Your back hurts. Maybe it's not your back. Maybe it's something deeper, something you haven't even looked at yet. That was me. I kept hitting the same wall over and over. I'd sit there and ask myself every day, what the hell is it? What's stopping me? And then I realized there was one place I hadn't gone yet. I had to go back to the beast, the demon that's been haunting me. I had to look that motherfucker in the eye again. Just like I studied that Navy SEAL talking his shit, I had to study this beast inside me. But I saw him differently this time. I found out his story. His dad used to beat the living shit out of him, throw him in front of a furnace, flames roaring, butt naked, and whip him until he couldn't move. Told him, you move, you get burned. So stay and take it. That cycle of demons that came from his father got passed to my father, and then he tried to pass that shit on to me. I had to understand that. I had to understand why my dad was the way he was. Why was he so damn brutal to us? And when I got those answers, I didn't use them as a crutch. I used them to make myself better, to get stronger. That's why I went back. I wasn't looking for an apology. I wasn't trying to hear, oh, it's okay, David, your dad fucked you up, so now you get to be a loser. Fuck that. That apology wasn't going to do shit for me. I wasn't looking for a damn past to be weak. I was looking to understand, to face the truth and get better because of it. And as I got closer to those answers, this voice in my head was saying, it's not your dad's fault. But the other voice, the one that always said, it's all your dad's fault, started getting quieter. The closer I got to the truth, the louder that new voice became, telling me, you got a lot of shit to face, man. Your dad did some messed up things, but now it's on you. You got to make it on your own. And that's it right there. You're going to have to face your demons, go back to the darkness and make peace with it. Not to let it control you, not to let it define you, but to use it as fuel. It's on you now. No more excuses. It's time to take control and tell your mind where the fuck it's going. That voice, that motherfucker just kept getting louder and louder until it was screaming in my head. And by the time I got to that door, by the time I left the house, I didn't feel sorry for myself anymore. Hell no, I started doing what I call a live autopsy. You know how when you die, they open you up to figure out what killed you? Well, most of us never do that shit while we're still breathing. And that's why so many of us are dying every damn day while we're still alive. That was me, man. I was walking around, but inside I was dead as fuck. So I figured it out. I dissected every part of my life, every failure, every excuse. And once I did that, I was reborn. I learned how to break down situations in real time. To get through that trauma, that devastation cause, trust me, man, it's coming for you. Life's going to punch you in the mouth. And you can't let that shit become a wall you can't climb. It can't be some Jersey barrier holding you back. You got to find a way to maneuver through it fast and keep moving. That takes a whole lot of fucking toughness. And most people don't have the guts to do it. You don't find yourself on the couch or at the finish line. You find yourself in the grind and the pain on the other side of suffering. Like that 100-mile race I ran, I wasn't just running for miles. I was running through all my bullshit, all my excuses, all my pain. And on the other side of that suffering, that's where I found the real me. There's going to be 1,000 times when you don't want to do this shit, when everything in you is screaming to quit, but you can't. You don't get to quit. This isn't some hobby or some joke you do when you feel like it. This is a goddamn lifestyle. It's life or death. What you say to yourself matters more than anything, because at the end of the day, it's just you out there. No coach, no trainer, no cheerleader. It's just you versus you. Look, man, you grind your whole life to earn a seat at the table. Not just any table to table where the best of the best sit. You finally get that invite steak, lobster, everyone dressed to kill. But you don't show up all comfy and proud. Hell no, you show up drenched in sweat, towel around your neck because you respect that table too much to come in soft. You put that towel on that nice chair so you don't fuck it up with your hard work. But here's the thing, man. You keep your mouth shut. You stay uncommon amongst the uncommon. You keep grinding when everyone else is coasting. You don't stop when you're tired. You stop when you're fucking done. You stay hard. The second you wake up, the second you look at your phone or turn on the TV, you're already in a battle. You got to win that war first thing in the morning. You do something you don't want to do every morning. Maybe it's a run. Maybe it's cold water. Whatever it is, you get that win. You're already training your mind to face whatever bullshit the world throws at you, to attack your insecurities, to beat down the voices telling you you're not good enough. You go to war every damn day and you win. That's how you stay hard. Man, I didn't just walk a mile. I went out there, put my feet to the pavement and said, 8, maybe I can go one more. Hell, maybe I can push one more after that. And before I knew it, I was at mile 81. My ex looked me dead in the eye and said, you ain't gonna make it. You ain't got the time. But guess what? When your mind knows it's not gonna quit, your body starts listening. That's the fucking secret right there. That's my 40% rule. When your mind is made up, your body ain't got a choice but to fall in line. I ran 20 more goddamn miles, 101 miles, 19 hours and 6 minutes. And let me tell you something, man, that one day, those 19 hours, that was the game changer. It wasn't SEAL training. It wasn't Ranger school. None of that shit. It was those 19 hours and 6 minutes that flipped the switch in me forever. I realized that we, as human beings, are capable of doing anything, and you don't need some fancy ass upbringing or a damn silver spoon to get there. So here's the bottom line, man. Don't quit when you're tired. You quit when the fucking job's done. I used to think no one understood my pain, like I was the only one going through this shit. But you hold on to that mindset, you're going to stay exactly where you are stuck. Everybody's going through their own mess. You think no one understands? Man, throw a damn rock and I guarantee you'll hit someone who does. The difference is they ain't hiding from it. They're breaking themselves down, facing the truth and pushing past it. Most of why all out here think you're working hard, but you're just playing games with yourself. You put in a few weeks at the gym, don't see results, and then you get all soft crying about it. Or you sit down for 30 minutes on a test and get pissed because it didn't go how you wanted. What the fuck do you expect? You ain't put in the real work. You got to do more. Stop lying to yourself saying you're doing enough. In life, it ain't enough until you're outworking every motherfucker around you. Until you feel like you've left everyone behind. Then you've done enough. Stay hard, man. Look, man, today's leadership is soft. Everybody wants that instant gratification, a pat on the back the second they do something. Let me tell you, man, most of the time you don't deserve shit for doing the bare minimum. A pat on the back comes when you've overachieved, when you've gone above and beyond what you're supposed to do in life. We're supposed to be our best. We're supposed to get up early, work out, be uncomfortable, push ourselves every damn day. But people out here looking for praise just for showing up. Nah, man, that ain't it. You don't deserve no fucking parade for doing what you're supposed to do. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. That's the fucking secret, man. You want to know what real leadership is? It ain't about looking for no damn pat on the back, no applause, no trophies. Leadership is about being a better fucking teammate, a better version of yourself, doing better for your family and owning that responsibility. It's about leading from the front, knowing that as a human being, you're supposed to be doing that shit anyway. You don't get a medal for doing what's expected. You just fucking do it. Now, man, imagine you're out in the middle of nowhere on a hike, right? You see this tree in the distance. As you get closer, you see a dog tied to it. You can tell it's a house dog domesticated, but something's off. That dog ain't the same anymore. It's been left out there starving, neglected. As you move in to help, it turns on you growling and ready to fight. Why? Because that dog hasn't eaten in days. That hunger changed its mentality. It became a fucking savage. And that right there, that's life. Stay hungry, man. Stay savage. Hunger changes everything. You go from being soft, housebroken, and comfortable to becoming relentless, unchained, fucking unstoppable. That's the mentality you got to keep. Stay hard. We're all being tested, man. Life is a fucking test, day in and day out. My test ain't yours, but we all get tested. And how you face that shit. That's what determines everything. You got to have the mentality that no matter what's in front of you, you still fucking grind. I ain't ever going to be in the Olympics. I ain't ever going to be a pro athlete, but guess what? I'm still out here grinding. I fail at most of the shit I try, but I keep pushing. I don't want to do half the shit I do, but still I grind. So if you see me running down some dark alley at 1 a.m., just know I'm grinding. Always. When that alarm goes off at 5 in the morning and your brain tells you to hit snooze, you got to respond with, this is what we fucking do now. This is the life. To get where you want to go, it ain't about the physical pain, it's about the mental battle. It's about doing the shit you don't want to do over and over again until it's just who you are. People want to triple down on their strengths, ignore their weaknesses, and stay comfortable. I'm telling you right now, that's bullshit. That's why people stay weak. You keep capping your own mind with this trash, avoiding the hard shit you're bad at. And guess what? You'll never get better. You'll never become savage. You're limiting yourself, lowering your expectations. The only cap you got is the one you put on yourself. So stop that weak shit, man. Man, if I had ever bought into that weak ass mindset of managing expectations, I'd be sitting at 400 pounds right now, stuck in some dead end job, making no money, and never knowing what the fuck I was capable of. I never would have become a Navy SEAL. I never would have gone to Ranger School. I would have stayed fat, miserable, and full of excuses. But that's what most people want, right? They want the shortcut. They want to read about how they can get there quick and easy. That's why all that 6-minute abs bullshit sells like hotcakes. It promises results without the fucking work. And sure, you might see a little progress, but it ain't permanent. It ain't lasting. You know why? Because the real permanent change comes from you, from your pain, from your suffering. Ain't no quick fix for this shit. You got to put in the work. You got to suffer. That's the price you pay for greatness. Stay hard.